Hello, I'm DeDe. In this 30-minute yoga session, we'll perform a practice featuring one of my all-time favorite poses, triangle pose. Triangle is a standing pose which helps us cultivate balance, hip mobility, hip stability, hamstring length, core strength, and core stabilization. Triangle packs quite a few benefits into one pose. We'll also perform some deeper stretches toward the end. And here's what you'll need. A yoga mat set up like this, or just a carpet if you have that on your floor, a small towel, and some water for hydration. As usual, you probably won't need your shoes and socks for this. Make sure you have plenty of room around you, and remember to always move at your own personal, appropriate, and sensible pace. So that means moving slowly if you need to, skipping something if you need to, modifying something. If I don't give you a modification that works for you, then do your own modification. All right, here we go. Come to a standing position with your feet directly underneath your hip joints. Your knees are a little bit soft. Your shoulders are back and down. Your core is braced all the way around. You're standing tall. Let's take the hands together in front of the heart center. And if you feel comfortable doing so, close your eyes. Now let's work on deepening our breath, breathing in and out through the nose. So if you haven't done so already, bring yourself here mentally, right now, into what we're doing, right in this very moment. Anything that happened before, anything that will happen after, just put that aside for now and be right here, right now. Try not to favor one foot or one part of your feet. Try to distribute the weight equally from right to left and equally from toes to heel. Keep yourself here mentally. You're here physically. Be here completely. All right, and let your eyes open if they were closed. Let your arms come down to your sides. And let's alternate coming up on one set of tiptoes and then the other. Just moving at your breathing pace. Inhale and exhale. So we're shifting the weight over from one foot to the other so we can do this toe stretch and this foot limbering. Can you bend a little bit further across your toe joints? One more. Now, keep your balance. Let's go up and down, lifting our heels up and setting them down. So up on your tiptoes and then back down. And we'll add some arms. Inhale, open up your chest. Exhale, palms come together. So we want to keep our eyes on a stationary point when we're making an effort to balance. So if you're looking at me, I'm moving. So maybe that's an okay focal point. Maybe you'd rather go just up above or just down below the screen, just so you have a little bit more stillness in your field of vision. And remember, if you need to be near a wall during balancing or near a sturdy chair or countertop, make sure that you take a step or two over to one of those items and use it. Bring the arms up a little higher. Maybe they go a little further open, maybe even a little bit behind you. What does that do for your balance? All right, and then bring your arms down. Now we'll circle around through our ankles. So right ankle goes around, and left ankle goes around. See if there's any pops or cracks that want to happen on your ankles, like my ankles want to do. Now we'll add a shoulder roll to this. So we circle around through the ankle and we roll the shoulder back. Every time we shift the weight, every time we move a body part, every time we turn our head a little bit, we're challenging our balance. Two more. Now we'll stay in the center and we'll roll both shoulders up and around and back and down. That's important, the down. Do it again. Inhale and then exhale. Let's do that with the elbows leading the way. Can you circle any larger with your arms? Do your maximum. It shouldn't be painful though. Stay in a pain-free range. And then bring your arms down. Take your hands together in front of your heart. And we sit back into chair pose. So push your hips back and bend your knees. And then inhale, sweep your arms out and up. And then hands together, exhale. Keep going with that. I'll give you a little quarter turn here so you can see that the back stays long and straight. And as usual, we include the head and the neck in the line of our spine. So see if you can feel what's happening in your legs. As you sit back in a chair, what's happening through your low back. Make sure that you're sitting back with your hips so your knees don't have to go too far forward to get you to come down. One more time. All right, I hope you're starting to feel warmer. Let's stand up, and we're going to step the feet a little bit further apart. Wider stance. So take a few steps to get out there. Now let's turn the toes out a little bit so they match the turnout of your knees. Take your hands on your legs, sit back with your hips. And then inhale, stand up. Let's do it again. Sit back with the hips. We'll do a few more of these. It's important that the knees track or point in the direction of the center of each foot. We have a wide stance and we have our toes turned out. So you should be able to keep your knees and toes lined up in the same direction. Let's add some arms now. Open, big. Don't lose your balance. Exhale, hands on the legs, hinge forward from your hips. And again, see if you can feel the big stretch in your inner thighs as you push your knees open. movement, exercise, especially yoga, should feel like a celebration of what your body can do. So let's celebrate how tall you can come up, how high your arms can go, and then how low you can sink down with good knee alignment. Celebrate that. This time we stay down. Stay forward now. Inhale, turn and drop one shoulder as you exhale. Come back to center and inhale, and then turn the other way. Exhale. And again. So opening the knees up in the direction of the toes. Right now, we're doing that. This will help us feel more comfortable in our triangle. So make sure that your knees are not collapsing in like this. So push the weight to the outer edges of your feet. All right, and then let's come to the center. Rise up, a little bend in your knees. Inhale, exhale over. And then inhale up. Let's go the other way. Go with your breath. So moving with our breath, doing repetitive motion like this, both of those things together, they're very calming for our nervous system in a way that really helps us negotiate stress. It helps us heal from some of the damaging effects of stress, and we all need that. And we're doing that right now together. Two more. Here's the last one. And then we'll come right up to the center. Turning this way now, bringing the fingertips down. And if you need some extra padding under your back knee, you put that folded towel under your back knee. If you don't need it though, you can do without it. I'm going to do without it. Now this front knee is over the ankle, this back knee is behind our hip a little bit. Let's roll the shoulders up, inhale there, back and down. Your fingertips can touch down. Let's do that again. Lift the chest, inhale, roll the shoulders back and down. As you exhale, fingertips touch down. And again. One more. Now take your hands on the inside of your front foot, lift your back knee, and let's walk hand over hand around to the other side. And then here we are. Drop your back knee and your back foot down. Front knee is over the ankle. This time we do a bigger sweep with the arms, big circle, as big as you can go. And then exhale, touch your fingers down, go again. At the perfect pace that your breath is setting for you. Deep breathing here. That's the perfect pace for your motion. And then both hands come to the inside of the front foot, pick up the back knee, come to the center, turn the toes out. Take one hand on your thigh, the other hand on your thigh, and slowly hinge up. Nice and slow. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Sit back, exhale. This time the hands go toward the ground. And do it again. Now, as we're hinging forward, we're not rounding the back. Right here, the back is still straight and long. And then do it again. Celebrating how we can move. All right, now we're turning back to this direction. This time we're not touching the back knee down. We're keeping the back knee up. Now let's rest on the fingertips or the fist, shoulders away from ears. Inhale, bend your elbow as you exhale and pull your arm up and around. And then do it again, same direction. Two more times. Your back leg is long and straight. Now with the hands, we're walking around, turning the feet. Find your lunge position. Let's be on the fist or the fingertips or the palm, shoulders away from ears. Inhale, bend your elbow, the one that's furthest from me, and then exhale and twist. And do it again. We can't see our back leg, so we just have to feel that it's long and straight. One more. All right, let's come to the center. Turn your toes out. Once again, one hand on the thigh, the other hand on the other thigh. Coming up. Take your arms out. Inhale, exhale, palms together over here. Keep your knees pressing open. Inhale, open the arms. Exhale. And we'll go again. Inhale, exhale. And then we inhale, and we're turning this way on the exhale. Stay on the tiptoes of your back foot, fingertips or fists, or you can use yoga blocks here. Inhale, bend your front knee, and then exhale, let it straighten a little bit. Do that again, drop your pelvis low. And then as you exhale, lift it up higher, send it backward. Do it again. Drop down and push back. One more. Now we walk with the hands around to the other side, turning the feet, setting yourself up for the proper alignment with your lunge. Drop down, inhale, and then exhale. Straighten your front leg a little bit, keeping your hands in that one spot. One more. Now this time on the exhale, let's move to the center. Turn the toes out. Hands stay on the floor. Bend both knees. And then straighten the knees as much as you can. You have your toes turned out. Now if you can't reach the floor, you can put your hands on 2 yoga blocks. You can put your hands up on the seat of a chair as long as it's a sturdy chair. You can put your hands on some books. Any of those things will work. All right, bend the knees. Let's walk around over to this original side. Stay on the tiptoes of your back foot. Inhale, drop your hips low, and then as you exhale, straighten your front leg and stay here. So this is another preparatory pose for our triangle. This is pyramid pose. Feel the stretch happening in the back of your front leg and the back of your back leg as well. And then we bend our front leg and we walk with our hands around. Here we are over here, pyramid pose now. Inhale, start with a bent front knee, and then exhale, straighten as much as you can. Now we want to make sure that our hips are not coming out of alignment. So your shoulders shouldn't be to one side and your hips to another side. Everything should be lined up with the center of your mat. And it doesn't matter how straight your front leg gets, you just do your straightness. Whatever feels appropriate for you. That's the most important part. Sensible, comfortable, appropriate, but challenging and celebratory. Now bend your front knee. Let's come to the center. Turn your toes out, hands on your legs, slowly coming up. Make sure you go slow. Now our first triangle. Turn this foot in, this foot turns out. Turn your pelvis and your chest straight onto me. Keep your legs straight. Tip your pelvis this way, so it's not level, it's now tipped. This kneecap is facing in the same direction as your toes. And then we keep the torso long and straight. Now this hand comes down on the shin, and this arm goes up, or this arm can stay at your side. Now we unlock the knee just a little bit, the front knee, so there's not a lot of pressure on the joint. Now you can look straight ahead with shoulders away from ears. You can look down, or you can look up. Looking up is a little more challenging for your neck, so find what works for you. As a general rule, we want to keep rolling our legs outward, away from one another. And we want to keep lengthening both sides of our torso. Your top arm can be bent at the elbow if it needs to be. All right, now unlock your front knee even more. Let's inhale and come up. And then we'll exhale and switch directions. Take your time. Turn this foot in. This foot turns out. Now before you go, align your navel and your heart center in the direction that I am. And then shift your pelvis this way. Make sure your knee is still facing in the direction of your toes. Keep lengthening, keep bracing, stay stable. Arms. Find your shin. It can be high on your shin, or you can be a little bit lower on your shin. Here's what we want to avoid. This position where your hips are sticking out behind you and your shoulders are coming forward toward me. We want to bring everything back into the center line of the mat. Feel how much tougher that is, how much more stretch you can feel here. Find your focal point, your eye gaze is soft. Make sure your front leg is unlocked at the knee. Now bend your knee even more and come up. And then let's release. Let's do triangle number 2. So this foot turns straight, this foot turns in, pelvis and heart center, pelvis tilts over, find your arms. Now this time, if you can, without losing your proper alignment, see if you can slide your hand further down your shin. It's okay if you can't. But if you can, celebrate that little bit of extra length in the back of your front leg. Now on your next inhale, bend your front knee, let's come up, and then we'll switch. One more time, one more triangle. Turn this foot out, align, strong and braced, tip, find your arms. And then fill out that shape as much as you can, whether that means longer arms, straighter legs, or maybe further down with your hand on your shin. but not here. Okay, so come back into a straight line with the center of your mat if you're not there currently. Remember, looking down is an option too, and then you can actually see, am I in a straight line with the center of my mat? Shoulders away from ears, find your breathing. All right, on your next inhale, come on up. And then let's release. Move your feet in. Let's come down into a seated position. So take your time getting here. And if you need to, sit on your folded towel. Put it underneath your sitting bones. And that makes it a little easier to sit on the ground. Let's bring the soles of our feet together. And we'll rock from side to side, and we'll lean forward with our torso. But check this out, not this way though. We're going to try to tip from our hip as we rock from side to side. And then when you're as far forward as you can go, stay right there and breathe. Now, is this a better option for you with the hands behind? Or maybe you feel better with your hands on top of your legs. Otherwise, hands in front. And then we're coming up. Now we're going to take our legs into what I like to call a zigzag. So front leg comes across, lean to the side, back leg comes around. We have about 90 degrees in both of our knees. And then we'll face toward our front leg. And if you're able to tip from your hip from there, do so. So what we're looking for here, in your front leg, we're looking to feel some stretch in the outer hip on that side. You feel it? And if you have a little bit of tightness in your inner thigh on your back leg, you'll feel the stretch there too. Relax your shoulders. Now to get to the other side, you can either sweep your legs around the other way, or you can do this. Just turn the other way this way. Just make sure you're still on your padded surface. You have approximately 90 degrees with both of your knees, and then we'll turn toward the front leg once again, and then we'll try to tip forward from the hip. Helping ourselves up. Let's come back around to our original side. If you turned with me, go ahead and do that. Let's sit with our legs folded. So one leg crosses in front of the other, and you're tall through your spine. Now we're coming forward from here, either with the hands behind, hands on top, or hands in front. Remember, when you're coming forward, you're trying to do it from your hips instead of from here, instead of from your middle to upper back. Now take a look at which leg you have on top or which leg you have in front, and then just reverse that. Start tall and straight, and then coming forward. All right, now we're coming up. Keep your legs in this configuration, ears over shoulders, sitting up straight and tall. Let's inhale. On the exhale, twist. One hand goes behind, one hand goes across on your opposite leg. Look over your shoulder. Keep breathing. And then inhale to the center. Let's exhale around to the other side. Stay here. And then come back to the center. All right, so how do you feel now? Experiencing and deepening triangle pose can have many benefits, such as increased mobility in our hips and legs, increased core strength and stability, all really, really good things. And we did that. So thank yourself for being here and taking yourself through this triangular adventure. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.